All right, welcome to another episode of Inside the Locker Room with Raider Dad. I have Anthony with us, one of our board members. He'll probably be joining me from time to time. Help us. We're going to call this the walkthrough. We're just going to update people, talk about different things that we have going on. We're still about a month and a half away. You guys have been seeing the One Nation Foundation. They're our big sponsor uh, for this preseason event. Uh, Yesterday, they went on a couple times, showing us some love on their show. It's really great to have them on board. The biggest thing is, in the early going of this, we don't have too many big sponsors, actually trying to sponsor the whole event right now. So we really appreciate having Murph, Jeff, all of them at the One Nation Foundation with their Raiders charity. But I don't know, Anthony, maybe you want to, give your insight, what it means to you maybe, or what it means to us as an organization to, have somebody like the One Nation Foundation supporting us.
Well, I just think it means they're taking the steps in the right direction, right? Like getting the exposure, doing the right things. It means even if we're small and still scaling up, it means we're turning in the right direction, getting buy-in, getting people to understand our vision, what we're after, what we're trying to accomplish, and just one step at a time and one event at a time, really. So I believe it just shows the concept, improves the concept that we get people behind us like that, and then the opportunities are endless.
Yeah, I think it shows the potential in Raider Dad, because as much as we want to think, we're established, we're headed in the right direction, we're still in the early stages, and it just shows, the potential. If the One Nation Foundation is going to support us, as we keep spreading the word, people seeing, what we're doing in different aspects from the Raider Dad experience to fuel the next generation where we're supporting youth athletes. It really shows a lot of people can really get behind this. They touched on the subject, and I think it's really important to Raider Dad because obviously we're about the kids, right? But I think since the move from Las Vegas, we're in these different Facebook rooms, Twitter, whatever it be, and there's that constant conversation about, uh, I guess, some fans kind of taking over the stadium, or at least, a good portion of the stadium's being filled because, maybe we don't have as many Raider fans as we would like or what we're used to in different venues, Oakland, LA, back in the day. But I think it's really important to have organizations such as Raider Dad because we're starting from the very bottom. I guess I guess a term out on the streets, really trying to develop this fan base, and there's no better way to do it by getting to them early. Showing them it's not just about sports; it's the culture and the Raider fan base. It's not just us out here doing these type of things, but there's so many people that do different, charities, toy drives, whatever they're out there supporting. Uh, you like to touch on anything that you see out and, maybe what the Raider culture's like and, why it's important to have something like Raider Dad?
I think every community is going to take on a different identity, right? Like I don't think it was realistic to think that the move to Vegas was going to duplicate the identity of Oakland. Like I just don't think that's a thing. I think it's a hard uh, curve for a lot of fans, I guess, and a lot of the old school fans. But at the end of the day, like this is a part of the identity of the community, and it'll only grow. So I think I'm a pretty big advocate of just going like, get fans in the seats. You have to be understanding that if your team is going to go 6-11, those visiting fans are going to come, and it's Las Vegas, So when you see your team playing in Las Vegas, where do they want to go? I want to go to Las Vegas. I'm coming to the home opener with the Pittsburgh Steelers fan. My best friend's dad's flying out from back east, and me and him are going to go together. Like, it's part of it, and he's super excited for the weekend, and I can't wait for him to get here. So I think you just have to embrace that and continue to pump the community with positive things, like the tailgates, like Raider Dad, and just continue to do all the right things, and then the identity will form over the years. I don't believe that if the Raiders were constantly 6-11 in Oakland, maybe the identity wouldn't have formed, or if they stayed if they were 2-14 forever. Now the last 20 years was different, but if they were always 2-14 or 3-13, whatever it was, who knows what the identity would be right now or before they left. So I think it's just every year it's going to evolve, and I think it's important to continue to pump, Raider Dad and different types of the different groups and all the other groups that are out there, all the toy drives and things that happen. Continue to pump the community full of that stuff, and then just let the identity form on its own.
Right. And since you're bringing up that, I've reached out to a lot of different people. I wouldn't say a lot, but several people at least. Like, if people want to get involved with this, then it's not just about one thing. And like the big topic with Murph's video going around Twitter was, it's about the Shield, right? So, Raider Dad. It's not just about Raider Dad. It's about bringing together a fan base, and it's something that everybody can get gravitate to support. And it's not, like, we can support each other. I think that's where Raider Dad could really take off, is whenever we're actually bringing together a lot of different groups, a lot of different fan base, a lot of different people in our fan base. So I think it's going to be an interesting year for Raider Dad. I think last year people weren't really sure about what was going on, or we weren't legit at one point, and then all of a sudden we're legit. Then we're trying to get 501c3. Now we're, full blown non-501c nonprofit. We're able to do just about anything now. So I think we're just going to see us really take off this year, more established. There's people out there that recognize the logo, the name. So it's pretty exciting heading into this preseason game. But I know you got some donations for us, but if there's season ticket holders out there that, maybe your tickets don't sell, or you just want them to go to a good cause, reach out to us. It's a really great experience. I know it's a month and a half away, but it's going to be interesting to see who actually shows up to this. We've been hearing from the One Nation Foundation, a bunch of people. They're coming. There's a lot of our friends. We promote it all over social media. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how many people. I think we had, I don't know, somewhere in between 100 and 200 last year, like when we're counting all the families and stuff. Right now we're about at, I think, 20 sets of tickets, maybe 21, somewhere in there, which, like we talked before, at this point we were just getting started. Plus we had the 2 games, so we were able to exchange tickets with people, and people were more willing. It's a little bit more difficult with the 49ers and, only one game. But if they don't sell, if you just want to, support what we're doing, reach out to either of us, reach out to, the social media handles. We're going to be taking local athletes. We're going to have some children from like Cure for the Kids, Las Vegas Rides. Obviously, it's great having that partnership, because, when we need families, we just start pulling them. And, it's one of the aspects that, the community can really benefit from. So you have anything on the ticket donation part?
Yeah, I think, I think it's important just as the time gets closer to understand what you're trying to accomplish, right? Like, if you have some tickets that you're trying to get $50 for at the end, maybe just reach out to us and we can donate the tickets and come have a meal with us. Like maybe just to provide the experience, especially if you have a couple extras that aren't being used. You come and hang out with us, and I think you'll really grasp the idea. So even if you do not donate this year, come join the tailgate, see what's going on, see what we're doing, and then maybe next year it's a possibility. So I don't think we close that off for people that maybe don't necessarily donate today. Maybe they get out there at the preseason event, and similar to what I did, I seen what happened in the first preseason event last year. I wasn't there or really wasn't involved at that point. I go, oh, this is really cool. And at that point was the time I turned and we started doing the raffles to try to drum up some money that we did at the home opener and stuff like that to help our further games. Like if you're unsure about it, come check it out for yourself, and then just see what happens at that point. And obviously, if you're open for donations at this point, yeah, that's great too. But come and see it, experience it for yourself, I would say. Then see how you can help and how you can get involved moving forward.
Right. That's the biggest thing that I stress to people. Of course, I'm always out here promoting on social media and stuff, but I'm not out here like trying to force people to donate to this, but I actually tell them, I don't ever ask for a donation, but I'm like, hey, you should really come be a part of this, see what we're doing, because then you're really going to grasp what we're doing, how we're impacting these kids. Something that's really cool this year for us is we sponsored 2 flag football teams. We're working on getting them, both teams and a parent, to a game. I love the aspect of this. I think that's what kind of sets us apart from different organizations, different people that already have been doing this for years. It's something that sets us apart. I just think of myself as a kid, right? I don't know how you were involved in sports, but I went to things like this, but it was like you were thrown up in the 400s, all of us. The thing about Raider Dad is the type of support from season ticket holders. There's seats all over the stadium, and the idea is, 5-10 years from now, we're talking about the potential of, Raider Dad families being recognized if this keeps growing at the pace that it is. So, I don't know. It's just a great thing. I really even the people that donate, I was talking to Bernie the other day, a couple other season ticket holders. I'm just like, I hope you guys come out, even if you donate tickets. Some people last year did that. What we do is we provide complimentary tickets. Texas Roadhouse is joining us this year, so we're gonna have 2 caterings going on. We'll have Jay's Gourmet. What's in Whiskey is going to be there with us. We'll have the Texas Roadhouse. There's going to be some other merch going on, but last year there was some people that actually showed up that donated tickets, and they brought a little, shirts or jerseys. There was a couple of them, which that was kind of cool. Not only help us create the experience, but actually join in and feel the impact, see the impact. I do remember that part of the tailgate last year. That was I feel like the families really enjoyed this, because, and I don't want to go too much on to this, but just think about a kid from cancer, or even his family, right? They probably feel like, the world's crashing down on them, or at times, how are they going to overcome this? Or it's like them against the world mentality, where Raider Dad, and that's the idea, you can bring these families with a fan base, with different people in our community. And it's like, hey, we're with you, we're going to help you get through this. And, hopefully we'll be able to keep that connection and see the progress, in the next few months, year or so. Yeah. So that's kind of what we got going on with the preseason game. Of course, everyone's pretty excited. I don't think the hype train's really left yet. I think as we start getting closer, within probably a month, we're going to see more people talking about it, more people getting excited about it, commenting who's coming. I wanted to next move into the charity event that you're actually pretty much running for the most part, because it's going to be out in Bakersville. So maybe just tell some of the viewers what we're doing to kind of jumpstart the season for Raider Dad this year.
Yeah, so it's a concept we've used for a few years. I remember, it's probably been 7 years, Kayla, since we did the Camp Keep one. Probably about 7 years or so. We did a local fundraiser here at a casino, actually, and did a poker tournament, and we raised money to help send kids to Camp Keep. I don't know if they have Camp Keep in your neck of the woods, but it's basically that they go to the mountains for the week or the beach for the week, and they go hiking and different things like that. So we're able to send 8 or 9 kids potentially. I can't remember the exact dollar amount. It's been a long. So we did a poker tournament that way. We've also participated in, him, Kaysen is a Raider Dad alumni with his dad, Cody and Amanda, for their for the diabetes awareness and Team Kaysen and whatnot. They've put on poker tournaments in the past. And we have a casino here in town that helps us with that and puts on a great tournament. But the overhead's pretty heavy with them. So a few years ago, I had a family member lost a parent, and we were trying to get together some funeral funds for them or whatever. I have a pretty good poker group here. We play a monthly poker game. I actually they're on my buddies. I go see them tomorrow night, actually. And I said, well, we had within about 10 days or a week or so, we put it all together. And I put it out there to the community and the people I know, like, hey, I'm looking for some raffle prizes. And we had some really cool things donated. And within a week, we threw this thing together and raised over $3,000.
Oh, wow.
And just helped with the funeral or anything that happened. And it was like on a whim, really quick. So then last fall, we lose our mother-in-law and my mother-in-law, and we decided to do the same thing. And we had a little bit more time to prepare for that one. I think about 2 weeks, maybe over 2 weeks. And with the outpouring of support, a ton of money was poured in from the Raider community. Like, that's just what it was. We had a lot of good raffle prizes and whatnot. We were able to raise more than enough money to bury my mother-in-law and things like that. So it's just a really good local community here in Bakersfield. A lot of them are not Raider fans, but they understand the cause. They understand the what the vision is and different things like that. And so I decided to go ahead and do that and put one on here locally, and really not even thinking that it's going to expand outside of Bakersfield, right? Like, in my mind, I'm thinking that's going to be the same 20 or 30 people that I see all the time. It's going to be Carl. It's going to be Jimmy. It's going to be these people I'm going to see tomorrow night. And the feedback and the response we've already gotten is eye-opening. I actually was walking through Target with my wife the other night, and I got a message that somebody was coming from Vegas. Tony. Yeah, and I was like, oh. I looked at my wife and said, we got to have a backup plan in case we get like 80 people playing in this tournament. Like, we got to have a backup plan for location. And we're like trying to map out the tables and whatnot, because last time I think we had 35 people play. I think we'll probably still be in that neighborhood. But the support we've already gotten as far as donations go, we had the full-size helmet donated to us for the Josh Jacobs helmet. You obviously went in and we picked up the 49er tickets. We have a really heavy 49er presence out here. A lot of really
Raiders, Chargers too.
Yeah, Raiders, Chargers was out there. A lot of guys that are in that poker group are kind of split Raiders, 49ers. So I think we'll get an outpouring of that. I'm trying to think of the Brandon Ayuk signed jersey. It's a 49ers twist there, and then
couple gift cards.
The really cool thing is the general raffle, and that's where you get a ton of support. And there's a local card shop here in town. Great American Sports Cards. They're on YouTube as Bakersfield Hobby. They trading cards and do card breaks and whatnot. They're actually opening up July 15th, the first card shop here in Bakersfield. They donated a gift card. A couple different photographers donated photo family sessions. Obviously, the camp is donating 30-day passes here locally. So we are going to have to figure out how if people are buying general raffle tickets from outside of Bakersfield, how some of those local ones are going to get spun. So I have a little bit of stuff to figure out on that end, how we're going to handle the raffle prizes. But really, probably by next weekend, I would assume we're probably going to close the book on all the raffle prizes for the event itself. That way we can really start letting everybody know what's out there and start getting those pre-sales done and getting a lot of raffle tickets. I mean, we had people win raffle prizes from Florida last year. David Jacopetti, a current a PSL holder, he won the
take. Yeah, he was at one of our events
at the home opener, right? So
oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, so like it doesn't have to be Vegas. It does not have to be Bakersfield, right? It doesn't have to be somewhere in between. But I will make sure I communicate with everybody throughout this process. What I do is I typically will take everybody's raffle tickets as they come in. I jot them down on my phone and my notes. And then probably a couple of times a week, 3 times a week leading up to it, I actually go through. My daughter and I actually do a really good job of it. She's got really quick at it last year. She would fill out the raffle tickets. We'd take pictures of it. Hey, here's your raffle tickets with your name on it and your actual stub number and things like that, because a lot of people aren't going to be here for it. But that way they, I show it being put into the drum of their choice if they want, X amount of raffle tickets on the helmet and X amount of raffle tickets on the jersey or whatever it is, or the tickets. So that's kind of the process there. That way, everybody has the raffle numbers, and then we'll go Facebook Live, obviously, when we're pulling those. So, they can hear their name or whatever. And then typically we'll get things shipped out the next week to them, or if they're here locally, we'll just have it picked up. So, we're early in this. We're not even a week into planning this. And I feel like we're already in a really good spot as far as the raffle prizes go, because that's a big draw, and that's a big part of this. So yeah, at the end of the day, I think it's going to be a really fun evening as well. Raiders will be playing the Rams in preseason, so we'll have to have that on the TV.
That will kind of help. That will kind of help.
Yeah, that's going to be going on. And we'll cook some food. I think last year we did, I can't remember we did a lot of chicken breast, maybe some tri-tip, things like that. So with your entry into the tournament, if you buy in or you pay and register for the tournament prior to me leaving for the preseason event on August 12th, well, $50 to get in, that gets you dinner and that gets you into the poker tournament. Poker wise, we are going to allow unlimited rebuys into the tournament for $20 up to the first break, which is 6 20-minute levels. So we'll play for the first hour and 40 minutes. If you lose all your chips, just another $20, get right back into it. All the money collected for the poker tournament, whether it be your entry into it or your rebuys or add-ons and things like that, all of that will get split 50-50. So there'll be, for simple math, let's say it's $1,000, 500 of it will go to Raider Dad, 500 of it will go to the prize pool, so to speak. And we will pay off, depending on how many players are there. If we have 35 players, we'll probably play top 7 or something like that. There's a percentage that we'll use, and then we'll get that going from there. And then after the first break, when there are no more rebuys and the pot's being calculated and all that, we will take probably about a 30-minute break. So if I'm doing the math, we're starting around 6, never going to start on time. So let's say we start at 6:10. The first break will be around 7:50. We will probably take about a 30-minute break until about 8:20. What that will do is that'll give us time to finish up any last-second raffle purchases, right? Because there'll be people hanging around in the back or whatever's going on, do some last, and then we will actually draw the raffle prizes, go Facebook Live, let everybody know who the winners are, calculate the payouts at that point, and then get back to poker probably between 8:20 and 8:30. And then at that point will be just however long the tournament takes. It depends on head count. So probably another couple of hours of play at least.
And this is majority locals of Bakersville, right?
Yeah. I think we'll be between 20 and 30 people just locally. There has been a couple of people commit, say they're going to the event that are from out of towners, whether it be Tony said he's coming from Vegas. There's a couple other people from surrounding areas. There's actually one person in the group. I have not looked. I cannot remember her name, but she's in Shafter, which is about 8 minutes from me here. And really, really small world also. His name's Sean Gardner, is someone in your group as well as my group, and he's been buying into our games and purchasing tickets and whatnot. I've known his name for about a year or so now, and just the other day he texted me and goes, "Wait, hold on a second, you're in Bakersfield?" Josh, he lives 4 minutes right there. Like I went by his house the other day. He donated. I forgot to mention, he donated an autographed Tampa Bay Bucks jersey.
Oh, that's him. Okay.
Helmet. He donated a New York Islanders autographed jersey for the general raffle. And I can't tell. I pull out of my development. I go about 100 feet and I turn left into his. It is, you can't live any closer than right next door, basically. And so it's crazy the people that are actually closer than you think, that are actually reaching out and actually going to come to this event. So I'm expecting a good turnout. I'm expecting a lot of good participation, most of it locally here in Bakersfield, but obviously open to anything at that point.
Yeah, I'd like to touch on something about this because, you brought it up, but when I'm talking to certain people, instantly, when you say Raider Dad, you instantly think of Raiders, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, just because of the team you support, there's so many people that support what we do that aren't actually Raider fans, but I do encounter this from time to time. It's like an instant shutdown, like, oh no, I'm not a Raiders fan or, whatever, but like, it doesn't matter, what fan base you're a part of. We all can relate. There's so many ways to relate to this, whether it's your childhood, whether you're in sports, maybe, involved with cancer. There's just so many ways that people can be connected to this. And, I just look at like the Raider Dad group that constantly donating. I mean, there's a lot of, like the rivalries, Raiders, Niners. There's a lot of Niners people that support what we do. So, we're really appreciative to have that. But we also, want people to understand that, this is bigger than just our teams. And sometimes you're going to see at our tailgates, people are going to be coming to the game and they'll be from the other team. But, like sometimes you got to put that aside and you just support the mission, support the cause. And just help us create these experiences. So everybody that's coming out there, everyone that's donating all these items, we really appreciate. It's just crazy the amount of support for something like this. Seriously, I know I'm constantly saying that, but it really is because, and I've talked with this or like exchange messages back and forth with Murph and Jeff, but it's mainly all just season ticket holders and just fans out there supporting what we do. So I'm just really appreciative for everyone that's behind us, of course, and I'm really appreciative to have you doing something like this. This really takes a lot of a burden on me. It takes a lot to do what we do. These events aren't cheap. What we do for people, and the time that we're putting in, right? There's a lot of time put into this, but it's all worth it in the end. But a few more things before I let you go, Anthony. We haven't been talking about because we're so consumed with this Raider Dad preseason event. We are coming back for the home opener. I've talked to some people. They're going to be in H lot. So there's like the Misfits and these other Raider groups. They're already going to be in H lot, so there's the possibility. We might have a larger group than planned, and that's probably the best traffic as far as event wise. I would probably say everyone tends to go to the home opener, right? So it's something to look forward to. We'll have Woods and Whiskey back for that. Unfortunately, I don't know if we're going to be able to do our standard because we normally take 2 to 3 families to games, but these ticket prices right now for the Steelers, they're up there. I just feel like later down the road, there's going to be more opportunities that we can get more families in there than just, overspending on tickets because it's the home opener and because it's against Pittsburgh. But those are kind of some things going on with that. If you guys want to, hook up with us, set up by us. You don't got to be like directly with us, but we can. It's about bringing everybody together. everyone's welcome. I've been trying to stress this to people. People like I'm the last person not to tell anyone you can't come to this. It's always open invite. If you're supporting either what we're doing or the Raiders, you're more than welcome to come by. You have anything on that part?
Yeah, I mean, the home opener is a big one. And I think as time gets closer, we might be able to take advantage of maybe some ticket drops and maybe get some kids there. And I hope my hope is that this event in August, the week after, the poker event, can help that. That'd be really good. Even if we bring 2 families out of that, right? And the rest it goes towards later, I think that would be huge. And I think you touched on like the opposing fans, right? Really starting to buy in. I think a family that comes to my mind, I don't know how much interaction you have, but it's Tina Dewey and Chris Dewey. They're active.
Oh yeah.
I met them actually last year in the preseason game against the Steelers. No, the Patriots. I say the Steelers because Chris Dewey is a Steelers fan. Tina is a Patriots fan. So I met them both. My daughter.
I like Tina. I like Tina more.
Yeah, there you go. It's funny. I was sending Chris a shipping label today, actually. And I said, "What's your email address?" And it's Steeler-fan@hotmail.
Yeah.
Whatever. And I go, "Oh, God," and real that. But they're a huge support. They're Chris is.
They're always donating.
I talk to Chris a lot, and he's a diehard Pittsburgh Steelers fan. But he understands. He gets it. He buys into it. He is excited to come to the home opener. Excited to come check out the Raider Dad tailgate. Wishes he can get to the preseason event, but they're in Wisconsin. So I understand you guys can't make it twice in 6 weeks. It's not a 4-hour drive like it is for me. It's much closer for me. So, I think, I think at that point, if it's bigger picture, it's bigger picture. And then it's also, I hope this gives inspiration to other fan bases to potentially do something like this for their fan base. I hope this leads to other opportunities for other kids and other families that need opportunities and breaks from reality everywhere. I hope they take a little bit of what we're doing and what you started and do it in their own lives as well.
I don't remember who I was having this conversation with, but because it's not that we didn't invent tailgating. We didn't invent this whole, I guess we kind of did the whole Raider Dad aspect of it, but like I was having the conversation, like, are there other fan bases doing this and why not? Football's been going on for a long time. Tailgating is a big part of a lot of different teams' cultures. And I was talking about, just how much, how giving the Raider Nation is, how much stuff that really goes, behind the scenes that people aren't really paying attention to. And I wonder, I've been like kind of searching. There's people that do, I don't know what they consider themselves, but like the Dodgers have that group that they all plan a trip together, rent out hotels, but that's like adult stuff. No one's really embarked on this kid aspect. And this is who they should be doing it for. And it's a pretty easy target. Everyone has kids. Everyone can relate to kids, right? Yeah. So maybe we'll start to see more, or I don't know. Maybe we're on to something here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Trying to struck gold.
Yeah, I was. That's funny. You had that conversation, and I had a similar one with Matt Vaughn, who's business partners in the local card shop that's opening up. He had texted me, and he couldn't tell us yet why he was asking me these questions because they just announced last weekend the opening of the card shop, and their grand opening is on July 15th. So he texted me and goes, "Hey, so you're involved in Raider Dad. Like, what other groups are out there besides Raider Dad that are doing kind of what you guys are doing?" And I'm like, I have no idea. And so then he texted me after they did their big announcement of the local card shops. And he goes, "Now that's why I was asking you about Raider Dad, because we want to get involved and we want to donate to a lot of these." And he started with the gift card. Obviously, they're in the middle of a grand opening. Right. So he's like, we future state want to get involved in a lot of these things. So I was just wanting to know if you knew of any other groups besides the one you're involved in. And I'm like, I don't. But that doesn't mean that it's not out there. It just means I'm more sheltered to just what we have going on in the stuff in my
Yeah,
life.
like I'm just wondering, because like, yeah, we have connections with like, I feel like we have connections with our division rivals, just constantly in these groups and stuff. But like, I don't know if there's other people out there. Uh, I you would think there would be though. I don't know. It would be mind blowing if we're the only ones doing this. But then at the same time, maybe that will help bring a little bit more attention. It's really nice of the card shop support. All the way out there
Yeah.
supporting what we do. And I've had this conversation. People are like, why would people support this outside of Vegas? I'm like, if you're asking that, you probably don't understand the mission. You don't see the vision of this, because it's not just about Las Vegas. Raider fans are not just in Las Vegas. And it's not just Oakland, just LA. Don't let them tell you that. It's all over this country. It's crazy. And
Yeah.
that's where Raider Dad comes in. The potential of it is that we can possibly, I'm saying, if we had the right support, we do bring kids here, but we can't. The transportation part's a little bit difficult, but the potential is someday, like somebody would want to support flying kids here just to get them to the Raider Dad experience, get them to Allegiant Stadium. I have been approached about this. It's never like big conversation, but there has been a company out in LA like curious, like, hey, have you guys thought about branching out? I can't think of the correct word, but having a different chapter than just Las Vegas. But I'm like, we're barely able to keep this running, let alone operating in all these different states. But maybe even maybe someday we'll be doing away game. We talked about this before. A tailgate in LA would be great for Raider Dad somewhere down the line.
Yeah, I think that's a logical step. I think it opens some avenues, for different people to get involved. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
And while we're on this subject, actually, so Jay and Stella, Jay's Gourmet, I'm getting Raider Noah. We're gonna fly out Saturday, and we're gonna do a tailgate in Oakland, and this is gonna be a great opportunity. Well, not only because Jay and Stella, they did this kind of thing for a while, but I don't know if it's never been like an organization or concept of Raider Dad. It's just the idea of gathering people in your community, families, getting them complimentary, food and tickets. But so we're gonna fly out there. Hopefully, I'm gonna meet some good people out there. We're gonna try to spread the mission of Raider Dad. It's not just about Las Vegas. If the move happens for the Athletics, there's the possibility, if we can get a lot of people behind this. There's a lot of kids being left behind in Oakland right now. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think a lot of people are really talking about this. Maybe a little bit, but it's not like their main concentration. So I think it's a great aspect for Raider Dad, because we're already thinking, but like, we have this pretty much set up. We have, the framework pretty consistent right now. We know what we can do. We know the impact. Whatever the next team that moves here, that's the potential. We're just going to keep duplicating this in every stadium. It's pretty exciting, because you get baseball here, you get basketball here. I didn't really think about the Knights, but we should have had this going for the Knights. But that's a potential, having this multi venues. A lot of that will really expand this. But yeah, so be on the lookout for that. We're going to have some news coming out of Oakland Sunday. I believe it's the White Sox are in town. Jay's going to be cooking food. Get some families in there. We do have a couple. I think there's at least one announcement coming Sunday, so that would be cool to pay attention with. It does involve the actual Raider Dad experience. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to get on here, do this. I know this lasted a little longer than you probably liked, but it's all. This is good to get on here, share what we're doing.
Yeah.
We want people to know what we're doing. We're everything we put on social media. We're transparent about everything. We just want everyone to get behind this and just keep building on what we did last year. So, anything for you?
No, I think that's it. I will push. I think the goal for me is by next weekend, so the weekend of the 8th, 9th, to kind of have a finality to the offerings of raffle prizes for the event, and then we will get those posted for everybody. I'll work with you on getting some stuff made up as far as the general raffle goes, and we'll officially start pre-selling some of that stuff probably by next weekend. I mean, it's open now. Anybody's more than welcome. Cliff King bought a ticket already for the Ayuk jersey. So like they're already starting. You can definitely start now if you want to, but we're looking to have that kind of totality together and finalized by next weekend, and then we can move forward.
And how should they do this? Is this directly contact you, or
yeah, I would just directly contact me. The information will be on the raffle sheets that we put together. My phone number will be there. You can text me, you can DM me. The payment information will be on there. I think it'll be a lot easier to just go through one channel of as far as purchasing the raffle prizes, because we're locally gonna get a setup here with different jars and whatnot for the different prizes, and my daughter and I are gonna probably run that entire thing for the month. She's probably over there eye rolling me right now because she knows that she's gonna be involved in that one big time. So it'll probably get to a point where I'll sell some at work and send her a text message and go, hey, 10 for Josh and 10 for Anthony and this one and that one, and then she'll get them all filled out and pictures sent to me. So we'll get a pretty good operation set up here in the next week or so. That way, as these raffle tickets are purchased, it's quick, it's easy, and it's efficient. So best to probably just contact me on that. Obviously, they can contact you. We communicate all the time. Yeah. So just whatever's easier, right? Just knowing that it's eventually going to come our way here so we can get everything kind of done and the raffle tickets filled out and put in place. And then a big part too, I see a lot of people saying they're going to this event. If you are going, you can get your entry in now as well. That way you get that $50 price tag. Afterwards, we're going to do it $60. $60 is what we've historically done because it does come with dinner. It gets split in half. We'll have rolls and salad and chicken and tri-tip and drinks and all that. So it includes all of that. But I am trying to incentivize people to purchase early, get their entry in early, get a little bit of a discount when you do so. That way it gives me an idea of head count, right? So about a week or so out, I know how many tables and chairs and how many people per table. I can kind of piece it together. So I do incentivize to get bought in early to this. So if you are marking that, checking that box as you're going, send your entry in as well, and I'll get you marked down. We'll keep good notes on it, and then we'll make sure you get that discounted rate and into the Booker tournament as well.
Okay, yeah. Maybe we'll do this again next week. Just nice to get on, talk about things, give us the walkthrough. Power Raiders interview goes live Sunday. I'll be in Oakland, but we'll start sharing some videos from Oakland too. I'll be in touch with you, Anthony. Thanks for getting on with me.
Thanks, Josh. Have a good night.